Hello everybody. Welcome to the Celeb Scope channel. Recently, Rihanna was involved in a very scary incident. There was a random woman who drove up to her house in a Tesla and started shooting. She shot at Rihanna's residence 10 times with an AR-15 style rifle. And it was said that Rihanna was in her house when this happened. Now, they didn't have any word on whether her partner A$AP Rocky or their children were there with her too. But Rihanna was there and the woman was taken into custody. So, we're going to see why this deranged woman would even come up to Rihanna's residence and do something like this. Like, this is crazy. This honestly feels like a hit job. And I know some people might say, well, maybe it's just a random crazy woman who rolled up to her neighborhood and started firing shots. Some people are even suspecting that it might be related to A$AP Rocky because A$AP Rocky has street ties. And so, who knows? Maybe he was the intended target, but I feel like this is a setup. I feel like they tried to take Rihanna out for real. Now, I don't know who would be behind this. I don't know why they would do it. It's possible that this may have been done to even scare her because, I think Rihanna knows a lot and has been exposed to a lot. So, in order to keep her in line, they do have to send warning shots to scare her. So, I wouldn't be surprised if that were the case here. But I am glad that she and her family are okay. I think Rihanna really needs to enhance her security. She does need to relocate because I feel like she's too accessible. People in the area know where she lives. I saw this clip of fans driving by her home, and she was just out there, and I was like, whoa, this is pretty invasive.
Love you.
We love Pretty Beauty. We love you. I love you from Australia.
She's very out in the open, and she does live her best life, but I don't feel like her security is tight enough. In fact, I saw a clip of where her security guard almost let the door slam in her face. And I'm like, what? This man ain't even doing his job right. So, Rihanna needs better security. She needs a stronger security team. And I do think she has to limit how accessible she is as well. And I know it's going to be hard. I know she wants to live a normal life, but she has to be very careful because this incident right here lets me know that she is being targeted. I want to talk about some updates involving the group KATSEYE and their member Manon. Now I did do a story about Manon taking a hiatus from the group. It was rumored that the label Hive and Geffen tried to phase her out of the group, and they were using this excuse that she had to take a hiatus for her health and well-being. But Manon came out and said that she was perfectly healthy and things were happening beyond her control. So a lot of people suspected that her taking a hiatus was not her decision at all. It seemed like they were sitting her out for whatever reason. Now, Man hasn't specifically spoken up about what exactly happened, but she has been liking posts and hinting that she is being mistreated and singled out because she's the only black girl in the group. And also, the label has been putting out negative narratives about her not working hard enough and being lazy, even though that doesn't reflect in her performance. So a lot of people believe that she was being mistreated, and I personally think she was too. Now Hive and Geffen are backtracking because they got so much backlash, and they didn't realize how big this story was going to blow up. There were major publications who did write-ups on this story. Different celebrities came out to support Manon. Also, the group members were getting backlash over this too, particularly Daniela, because her father came out and basically said that KATSEYE can continue without Manon. And he made things worse by comparing his daughter to Lisa from Blackpink, which caused the blinks to get active. So Daniela was getting a lot of backlash. It was just messy. The whole thing was a huge PR crisis for the group. They thought that they could get away with forcing Man on hiatus and stirring up all this drama. However, the fans' reactions made them think twice because now they're scrambling to get Manon back in the group sooner than they planned. According to Dumo, it said insiders tell Doomies that the label behind KATSEYE is now responding to the backlash surrounding Manon Banner Man's hiatus from the group and may be working to bring her back. While nothing else is set in stone, allegedly talks are happening about her return. The label we hear wasn't expecting fans to react so strongly to Manon's hiatus, which may be driving these behind-the-scenes moves. So, in other words, they realize Manon might be bigger than the program. So, yeah. They want her back now after mistreating her and using this drama as a PR stunt, which is really ridiculous, honestly. And I don't think Man should really return back to such a toxic situation, but I don't know if she's even able to break her contract. And I do understand that this is her career, so she's not going to readily walk away just yet. But if she doesn't return, at least by next month, because the girls do have festival dates, if she doesn't return then I'm going to assume that she's no longer a part of the group and maybe the group is over as we know it. But at this point, I'm just not interested in these multiracial girl groups where the black girl always gets mistreated. I'm tired of it, honestly. So, I rather just support artists like FLO. Shout out to FLO. They just teased their new song, leak it, and I like it so far. I've liked everything FLO has ever released. I love their music. I think the girls are so talented, so consistent. I think these are the type of groups that deserve mainstream push for real. So hopefully this year is the year that FLO really takes off. They already have a fan base, but I feel like they could be bigger. And another person who I feel deserves a bigger career is Chloe Bailey. Anytime I think about Chloe Bailey, I get disappointed because she's one of the most talented artists of her peers. Like I would say she's more talented than a good 95% of her peers. She could sing, she could dance, she could write, she could produce, she could perform, she could act, she could do it all, and she deserves more. But I don't think she's getting the support that she really needs. I don't think her labels Columbia and Parkwood Entertainment, which is Beyoncé's company, is not really supporting her and promoting her the way they should, if I'm being honest. And also, Chloe is not trying to sell out either. So, that's probably another reason why she's being held back. And I do agree with the sentiment that she and her sister Hai should not have split up as soon as they did because I feel like they were on the cusp of something big. I think they had a lot more to accomplish together before going their separate ways. But Chloe has been working hard on her music. And I will say this, I feel like her album Trouble in Paradise deserved a little bit more love. It was a solid R&B album, but unfortunately it fell under the radar. It didn't get promoted, and I think that they could have at least pushed one of her songs. Like Boy deserved to be a hit. I think it just needed some more muscle behind it. It needed more push, but I don't think the label truly felt like investing in her, honestly. And of course, logistics come into play. You know, of course, if you're not selling the way the label wants you to, they're not going to have any incentive to invest in you. But I don't feel like they gave her album Trouble in Paradise a chance at all. And then she had to go through a legal issue with some of her songs. So, I could imagine that her situation is pretty disappointing and discouraging at times, and she did talk about almost giving up on making music, but now she is being inspired again, which is a good thing. And she almost broke out in tears talking about it, too.
Did I sell my soul? No, but I will sell my album, so stream it. Trouble in Paradise in pieces. More is coming. I'm not talking too much about it. I'm just gonna pop the fuck out. And y'all gonna be like, oh my gosh, you've been sitting on this, bitch. You the baddest. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I've been making the best music of my life, and I have to give credit to God and Jesus because they are using me as a vessel because it is not coming from me. It has been flowing out of me like water, and I am insanely grateful, and I'm not going to tear up because I just ate on my makeup. But this is the best music I have ever created in my life. And I stopped for a while. Like, I really had no desire to make music anymore. But by the grace of God, I got out of it since end of last year. And this is the best music I've ever created in my entire life. So when it is out, you will hear that. And I cannot wait. So y'all know I'm a crier and I am on my time. So, and I just ate my makeup down.
I do wish the best for Chloe. I really do. She's super talented. I'm going to always support her. So, whenever she drops that album, I will be pushing it.